Owiti. Now, tonight, a petitioner has moved to the Judicial Service Commission seeking to have Chief Justice Martha Koome immediately removed from office. In his petition, Michael Kojo Otieno alleges that Chief Justice Martha Koome has failed to exhibit respect for the rule of law, failed to comply with the law, and has failed to act in a manner that promotes public confidence after allegedly appointing excess members to the Tax Appeal Tribunal in May last year. According to the petitioner, the Chief Justice is unfit to hold office for the alleged unlawful and unconstitutional appointments. KTN's David Mudoka starts us off.
In May 2023, Chief Justice Martha Koome appointed some 22 persons to serve as members of the Tax Appeal Tribunal for 3 years. 9 months later, the appointments have come back to haunt the country's 15th Chief Justice through a petition filed before the Judicial Service Commission. According to the petitioner Michael Kojo Otieno, who is a human rights activist, Chief Justice Martha Koome went against the law while making the appointments and thus is unfit to hold the office of the Chief Justice of Kenya. Otieno argues in his petition that while the Tax Appeal Tribunal Amendment Act 2022 states that the Tax Appeal Tribunal shall consist of a chairperson and not less than 15 but not more than 20 other members, Martha Koome failed to comply with the act by appointing 22 members. For appointing 2 more persons than the required maximum number, Otieno is convinced that Chief Justice Martha Koome failed to exhibit respect for the rule of law, failed to comply with the law, and failed to act in a manner that promotes public confidence. The petitioner further states that Koome failed to conduct herself in a manner that promotes honest, dignified, and impeccable manner, discriminated against persons who applied at the Tax Appeal Tribunal as members, and burdened Kenyan taxpayers with 2 members who are not budgeted for.
It came to my attestation that on 10th May 2023, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya did not comply with the provisions, express clear provisions from prima facie evidence on recruitment of members at the Tax Appeal Tribunal. Whereas the powers which had been conferred upon the Chief Justice, she relied on an old law instead of a new law.
Otieno believes that it is of utmost urgency that the Judicial Service Commission, which interestingly is chaired by Koome herself, removes her, failure to which there will be disastrous implications for the rule of law. Otieno further states that if the petition is not immediately ventilated and necessary orders made, the damage or harm will be of an immediate, incalculable, and irreversible nature.
Code is intended to establish standards of ethical conduct of judicial officers to be applied consistently with constitutional requirement. That is a legislation from Parliament, hence makes her unfit to hold public office.
The Judicial Service Commission is now expected to consider the petition to see whether it disclosed a ground for the CJ's removal. If it doesn't, the petition will be thrown away. But if it does, the JSC will be required to send the petition to President William Ruto, who within 14 days has to suspend the Chief Justice and form a tribunal chaired by the Speaker of the National Assembly to investigate her. The tribunal is expected to do the investigations expeditiously and present a report with binding recommendations to the head of state. The president has to act in accordance with the recommendations, and if the Chief Justice is aggrieved with the decision of the tribunal, they have 10 days to appeal at the Supreme Court from the day the recommendations were made by the tribunal.
So we are ready as a judiciary to open ourselves for this introspection and to see who is failing in their duty.
All eyes will now be fixated on the Judicial Service Commission to see what decision it makes regarding the petition for the removal from office of Chief Justice Martha Koome, considering no Chief Justice has ever been bundled out of office before. David Muthoka, KTN News, Nairobi.
Let's now head to Nakuru, where the controversy over the ownership of the Nakuru War Memorial